There is a myth that runs almost every broke person's life in the background, and it goes like this. Getting rich requires some massive moment, a promotion, a business idea, the next stock everyone else missed. And because that big moment never really shows up, people wait. They keep waiting. Meanwhile, their bank account looks about the same in December as it did in January. But here is what almost no one talks about. The people who actually build wealth, they did not get there through one giant decision. They got there through a handful of small habits repeated for years. James Clear wrote a book called Atomic Habits, and the core idea is simple. If you improve by just 1% every day, you end up 37 times better after 1 year. That math sounds almost fake, but it is real. And it applies to your money in a way that will change how you see every single dollar you touch from this point forward. Before getting into the 5 habits, there is something important to understand about how money behavior actually forms. Your financial life right now is not the result of what you know, it is the result of what you repeat. You could read every finance book on the shelf and still stay broke because information does not change behavior. Repetition does. The person spending $800 a month on things they cannot remember buying is not stupid. They just built a pattern. And that pattern runs on autopilot every time they open their phone. So the goal here is not to learn more. The goal is to install better patterns. That is what atomic habits are really about. Small installations that run in the background of your life and shape your net worth without you having to think about it. The first habit is the 1% rule for saving. People fail at saving because they try to jump from 0 to 20% overnight. They watch a video, get excited, set up some huge automatic transfer, and then 3 weeks later they cancel it because they cannot pay rent. So here is the fix. Start with 1%. If you make $3,000 a month, that is $30. You will not feel it. You will not miss it. But something else happens. You begin to see yourself as someone who saves. And once that identity clicks, you raise it to 2%, then 3. Within a year, you are saving 12% without ever feeling the pain of a sudden lifestyle cut. That is how habits are supposed to grow, slowly until they feel like part of you. The second habit is about friction. James Clear says the easiest way to build a good habit is to reduce friction, and the easiest way to break a bad one is to add friction. Your money works the exact same way. Right now, spending is frictionless. Your card is saved in every app. Amazon knows your address. DoorDash remembers your last order. One tap and $40 is gone. Meanwhile, investing takes 5 clicks, a password you forgot, and a 2-factor code sent to an old phone number. See the problem? The system is designed to make you spend and discourage you from investing. So flip it. Delete your saved cards from shopping apps. Log out of Amazon. Add a 24-hour rule for any purchase over $50. Most of the time, when that day passes, you realize you never actually wanted the thing in the first place. You just wanted the feeling of buying something, and that feeling fades faster than the charge would have hit your account. And on the other side, automate your investing so it happens before you even see the money. Make saving effortless and spending slightly annoying. That single shift changes everything. The third habit is the 2-minute rule applied to money. Clear says any new habit should take less than 2 minutes to start, because the goal is not to become a financial expert in one weekend. The goal is to show up. So every morning, for 2 minutes, open your banking app and look at your balance. Sounds too simple to matter, right? But studies from behavioral finance research show that people who check their accounts regularly spend around 10% less without changing anything else. The fourth habit is habit stacking, which might be the most useful trick in the entire book when it comes to money. The formula is this. After you do something you already do, you add a new financial habit. So for example, after you pour your morning coffee, you check your investment account for 60 seconds. After you get paid, you immediately move 10% into savings before you touch anything else. After you finish dinner on Sunday, you spend 5 minutes reviewing what you spent that week. You are not trying to build willpower from scratch. You are attaching new behaviors to existing routines. And once that connection forms in your brain, the new habit becomes almost automatic. The fifth habit is the one most people skip, and it is the one that actually determines whether any of this sticks: identity. Clear explains that every action you take is a vote for the type of person you want to become. If you save $30 this week, you are not just saving $30. You are casting a vote that says, this is someone who handles money well. And after enough votes, your brain stops fighting you. It starts protecting the identity you built. This is why people who tell themselves they are bad with money stay bad with money. They keep voting for that identity every time they overspend. So change the vote, even a tiny one, every time you skip an impulse purchase, every time you move $10 into savings, every time you check your accounts, you are becoming someone new. And that person, the one you are becoming, is the one who ends up wealthy. Now, here is how this ties together in something practical. Imagine you take 4 of these habits and run them for 12 months. You start saving 1% and grow it to 10. You add friction to spending. You spend 2 minutes a day looking at your money. You stack a weekly review onto your Sunday routine. Nothing dramatic, nothing that would make a good movie scene. But at the end of that year, you have saved thousands of dollars, you understand your spending patterns better than most adults ever will, and you have started investing in a way that compounds for the next 30 or 40 years of your life. That is the part nobody feels in the moment. When you save $50 today, it does not feel like anything. It feels like you gave up a meal out. But that same $50 invested at an average market return becomes over $500 in 30 years. Do that every week, and you're looking at hundreds of thousands of dollars from habits that felt too small to matter. This is the compound effect Clear talks about. And it is the reason patient people end up rich while impatient people keep starting over. There is one more thing worth saying before you close this video. Habits do not just build wealth, they protect it. Because the truth is, plenty of people come into money through a raise, an inheritance, a good year in business, and then lose all of it within a few years. Why? Because their habits never changed. Money poured into a broken system just drains out the other side. So even if your income doubles next year, your habits are what will decide whether that money stays with you or disappears. This is the part lottery winner stories always show, and yet somehow it never sinks in for the rest of us. The money is never the real problem. The person holding the money is. This is why working on your patterns first is not optional. It is the foundation everything else sits on. Fix the habits, and the money has somewhere safe to land. Here is the honest truth. You do not have a money problem. You have a habits problem. And habits are fixable. They are not personality traits. They are not written into your DNA. They are just patterns, and patterns can be rewritten one small choice at a time. So this week, pick one habit from this video. Start with 1% savings, or the 2-minute account check, or removing your card from one shopping app. Do not try to overhaul your entire financial life on a Sunday night. That never works. Pick one thing, do it for 30 days, and watch what happens to how you see yourself. Because once you become the kind of person who handles money well, everything else, the savings, the investments, the freedom, that all follows naturally. If this was useful, do me a favor and hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. I'll see you there.